Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. It is part 78 and I wouldn't say anything has really gotten me into a chokehold recently in terms of things I've been into. I don't know. It's really been barren on that front. I don't know, man. I really have not been watching anything other than just anime. And not the popular anime either. You want to, yeah, I guess if you want to know an anime I've been watching season 2 of Gundam Witch from Mercury. I think I might have talked about it at the end of last year. Basically, all you need to know is that it's about this very determined red-haired girl called Mercury. She goes to a school to freaking learn to pilot Gundams, even though she's already really good at that. Yeah, that's season 1. Yes, the season I'm watching now is like, you get reminded of like, I think you get reminded that the Gundam franchise is kind of dark, and it's about like war and like the negative effects of war, and yeah, I guess that's all I need to know. All you need to know about it. But yeah, really nice reference I put in the beginning there. It's like, look, man, Draymond is just gonna do what Draymond is gonna do, man. But I don't know. I probably was gonna record an episode like at least a week ago, but I don't know. I guess me waiting gave me this gift of a bunch of NBA stuff to talk about. Like, while I was away, the Clippers went on like a 6-game losing streak after they acquired James Harden, right? They recently got their first win against the Houston Rockets, and like there's a clip like how they got that win was in part due to a James Harden step back tree, which is like his signature move, and he got fouled on the 3-point attempt, so it went in, the 3-point shot went in, and then he got fouled, so it is a 4-point play, and it's like, dude, that is classic freaking James Harden, man. Russell Westbrook volunteered to come off the bench, you know, due to the struggles, man. He's like, he's selfless, but, you know, Lakers fans are like, but now he gets labeled as selfless when he gets to do it now, but Darvin Ham benches him. Yeah, you know, whatever. But yeah, I guess the Warriors, though, haven't been doing too well, man. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a thing. Do I have anything to add to the Draymond situation? You know, I don't know. Just thinking about it. Why? Why does Draymond need to keep on doing this? Like his bit. It's not a bit. It's who he is, right? Is like he is extremely passionate. He is a great defensive player. He is a great player. He is the reason why Golden State has won 4 championships. But he might have been the reason why they didn't win in 2016. If you know the history behind that. Do I need to recount it? I don't know. Go to another source for that, okay? Just type in like 2016 Warriors. I don't know. I did. I don't know. I soaked it up through osmosis somewhere in the past 2 years. But yeah, like, you know, from stomping on Sabonis in the playoffs this year to like, you know, just doing a bunch of stuff. Always, kicking people in the groin, gouging people's eyes out, freaking just, my God, dude, just the stuff Draymond does. And he got suspended 5 games for this incident of him choking Rudy Gobert. And if you know, he has some beef with Rudy Gobert. There were like some tweets they sent at each other. Like when the Jordan, I forgot the biggest part of it. Yeah, he punched Jordan Poole. Yeah, he punched his teammate. He got his way. Jordan Poole got traded to the Wizards, right? And like Draymond has basically gotten everything he's wanted from the stuff he's done. Well, not, you know, he got what he wanted in that situation. He hasn't really gotten everything he wanted, but you know, like the reason why, I guess, he has such a long leash with the Warriors and the organization, I guess, is because he wins them championships. But I don't know, man. He like, I feel like right now he's probably gonna be the reason they don't win more championships, right? I feel like it's becoming clearer and clearer right now as this Warriors core is aging, right? But like Steph isn't showing his age at all, right? Like Steph is like as good as he's ever been. But you know, the supporting cast around him, Clay and Draymond, you know, they have been kind of, yeah, they are older. They've been showing their age a little bit, right? I would assume most people would say Draymond isn't as freaking great as he was, you know, just a few years ago. And like Klay Thompson obviously has been coming off of an Achilles and an ACL, you know. But you know, he's been shooting horribly as of late, and yeah, the Warriors are what, 6-7 now, I think. Yeah, they're not, yeah, they're not one of the best teams in the West anymore. I don't know. Even with Chris Paul coming off the bench, or starting in this case. I think he started like the first game when like Draymond was like out due to an injury. But yeah, also Andrew Wiggins has been playing really bad. That's also why. And like the thing last season of the Warriors not being able to win on the road has been flipped around. They have been winning on the road, but at home they've been struggling a lot more. Interesting. Yeah. So basically, that's the update. What is there anything to add about Draymond Green? Like, why does he need to act? Why does he need to act like this? It's like, why? It kind of is like I don't know, just from an observational perspective, just from someone who I guess watches game, keeps up with the league, right? It's like, isn't it just getting old? Isn't it just getting old? Just him doing it, even if it's in the guise of like protecting his teammate. It's like he rushed out of nowhere to just grab Rudy Gobert by the neck and choke him out. It's like, yeah, I also thought, like, if he was allowed to continue that and Rudy Gobert actually, like, passed out, like, if his chokehold was a bit tighter or more effective, right? Because that's a comment Rudy Gobert said. He's like, yeah, I don't think it was that effective, to be honest. It wasn't that good of a choke. And, like, Rudy Gobert also had some really funny comments of, like, he doesn't want to play when Steph doesn't play. Steve Kerr, yeah, he's protecting his guy, but deep down he knows it. He knows. He's a clown. Oh, man. But yeah, if like Draymond was allowed to continue it and Gobert actually passed out, how long would that suspension have been? How, like, I don't know, man. It's still a pretty long suspension. Yeah, it's one of the longest suspensions a player has gotten since Meta World Peace / Ron Artest. was it he elbowed James Harden back in like 2012? Man, I don't know. I just know this stuff, okay? I just know this stuff. Anyways, any other NBA related things I want to go on before I go off into the middle of nowhere? That's a song reference. Anything else? The in-season tournament is going on. The Lakers are 3-0 in their group. The Grizzlies' struggles continue. They're like, what, 2-9. Marcus Smart is injured on top of all the other freaking injuries they have. It sucks for the Grizzlies, man. It really does. The Nuggets are still a good team. They lost to the Pelicans though tonight. The Sixers have won. Yeah, the Sixers, since the last time I recorded, have won like 8 straight games. Kelly Oubre got hit by a car, but recent like reports, or like recent there hasn't been like there was like a report that he got hit by a car and he was in the hospital and he is injured and he is gonna miss like at least like a couple weeks due to that. But there was like TMZ dug up freaking Ring camera footage from his home, entering his home, and it showed him like walking into his home. Like, I don't know, man. But he is injured though. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. The Sixers have been really good, but they cooled off a bit recently. Oh man, look, I mean, it's not intimidating me that much. I mean, like, I think we all know the result that's gonna happen if you are familiar with the Sixers at all. But you know, yeah. Oh yeah, the other interesting thing about the NBA is that the Chicago Bulls have sent out, I don't know, there was just one Athletic article where it just said, like, the Chicago Bulls are they're considering trading Zach LaVine. And if they are considering trading their best player, right, they probably are going to consider trading the whole freaking team, right? They probably are considering blowing it up, which means trading DeRozan and Alex Caruso, who is on the Lakers, and I would assume Lakers fans really freaking want him back. They really want him back, man. I don't know. God, I just hope he doesn't end up there, man. It'll be okay. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I said before, right, D'Angelo Russell's probably going to get traded, right? So, like, a deal for Caruso would probably be, like, D'Angelo Russell and then freaking Rui Hachimura or something. I don't know. But, yeah. I guess. Am I actually done? Am I actually done? Anything? True. I don't know how to gracefully move into the next topic. I don't know. What other topics do I have? Do I want to continue a thing I've talked about before? I don't know. This skin I have, which you may know from a very popular Minecraft YouTuber. I don't know. I guess I just kind of wanted to talk about Stampy a little bit more than I have. I talked about his lovely World Series ending, and I haven't actually watched the video, by the way, that last lovely world video. I think, like, as I was watching it back, I made it seem like I did, but I actually haven't. Yeah, I haven't really watched any, like, of those lovely world videos since, like, what, 2016? Yeah, like 2016, 2017, I think, at the latest. I said, like, 2017 was, like, the latest that I was watching his channel. I was, like, watching the Ocean Den series, the third Den series he was doing with him and Squishy, I think. Yeah, but I don't know. I guess it's just I've been I watched an episode. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. There was this thing he did in addition to all those Minecraft Let's Plays and whatever videos he was doing, the Magic Animal Club podcast. And I don't know, I feel like I got nostalgic for it like a week ago, and I started watching from episode 1. Like, I've only watched, like, episode 5. I've only rewatched, like, 5 episodes because I used to watch that podcast. It was a podcast he did where, he was playing Minecraft, but talking over it. So, like, the gameplay wasn't what you focused on, but, like, the person talking over the gameplay, him and Squid talking over the gameplay was what you came for rather than playing Minecraft. I don't know. Does it remind you of anything? Oh, man. Does it? I don't know. It doesn't really remind you of me of anything, to be honest. I don't know. Oh, yeah, yeah. I can make a cake, right? I think I might want to try making a cake. It's been, like, the first time I've been, like, getting the wheat from here. All right. So, yeah, him and Squid did this podcast together called the Magic Animal Club Podcast, and I think it stopped around, like, 20-something episodes. Yeah. Like, maybe like the mid to late 20s. But an interesting thing about that podcast, an interesting thing, is that I checked the channel recently, and I don't know. I don't think it didn't come upon from me checking the channel, but it just, like, a video getting recommended. I think, like, like 2 or 3 years ago, it said there was a video on my feed that said Magic Animal Club Podcast episode 36, and, like, I was like, oh, that's new. That was uploaded, like, just recently, 3 years ago. This is kind of an oxymoron, but yeah. And just, like, a week ago, I think the date is specifically November 8th of 2023, they uploaded another part of it, number 37. And an interesting thing about that is that I posted a tweet with the video. In the 4th episode of the Magic Animal Club podcast, they, like, make a joke of, like, they're like, hey, like, let's, like, shout out, like, a date in the future so that we can come back to this eventually, right? So, sort of like a time capsule. And then Squid said the date. He was literally like, say a date, and then Squid said November 8th, 2023. And lo and behold, that episode, the recent episode, number 37, got uploaded November 8th of 2023. And, like, damn, I don't know. I want to watch it, but I don't know. I think it's a personal thing with me, right? I guess like continuing on from the like watching, like if you stop watching someone's videos, like if you stop keeping up with a YouTuber, right? And then like it's been years and then you want to get back into watching them maybe, or like watch a video, a lot of times I feel like with me it's awkward, you know. I think it's why I haven't uh watched any of like Ryan Higa's like streams, because I just feel like it's awkward. I'm just like how am I don't know. Like I know him from making videos. It'd be weird for me to just see him just stream and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing currently, but you know. Yeah, I just kind of feel the same way with this, where it's like I haven't watched any of the recent freaking videos or anything that Stampy's put out. I will eventually, I feel like, but I don't know. Maybe I should just do it. I'm just really awkward about stuff like that. Maybe it's just like it reminds me of the past too much, but you know, like I like watching like past videos, but I don't know, just like when years have gone by and like I watch like someone who's been doing it for a long time, you know, yeah, and I'm watching someone whose content I've watched for a long time, and like I haven't watched what they've done in years, and then I come back at some point. I don't know, it just feels a bit awkward to me. I guess that's why. But I will eventually though. I'll get back to that eventually. Maybe I'll just do it. Just get over it and do it. It's a weird hang up I have. I don't know. Yeah, man, it's just weird just like thinking of like, yeah, just YouTubers now that I'm like, no, a decade ago I was watching that. Like, I've been watching certain people for a decade. You know, not recently, but yeah, there's some there's so many YouTube videos I go back to where it's like it's been a freaking decade since, you know, I've like started watching them, and it just feels weird. It makes me feel old in my 23 years of age, you know. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's just a thing. Yeah. Anything else I wanted to talk about with him specifically? The Magic Animal Club podcast I really liked, you know. I really just like how it was different, you know. Yeah, I talked last time about how I was watching like him as a teenager rather than just as like a young kid, you know, like most of his fans are. I don't know what it's like now, like with his with the people who still watch him, you know. I wonder if they kind of feel the same way of just like, I've been watching you for so freaking long. It feels weird, you know. I don't know. Yeah, I wonder what it's gonna be like for streamers, you know. I think of like, yeah, it's a weird thing I think about in regards to streamers, right? Where I'm like people like Pokimane or something, or Valkyrie, like, who are the people who've watched them from their like earliest streams, you know? Like, and that's another thing like I think about, you know. I guess you could say the same thing with YouTubers, but like, you know, you could say the same thing with YouTubers, where it's like, who were the first people who watched their first video they uploaded, right? Like, like imagine being that early, you know? Imagine being one of the very, very, very first people on frickin' Valkyrie's first stream. Imagine being like one of the first like 100 people or even like 1,000 people who watched her, you know? I don't know. It's a weird, like, I can conceptualize a YouTuber's first video because, like, it's uploaded, right? Like, a lot of times they still have channels and, like, you know, there are some times when they delete them, but a lot of times, right, you go on any YouTube channel, you click sort by oldest, right? They removed that button, but they brought it back, really, which I really like, you know? You just go sort by oldest, and it's like, oh, there you go, you can find their history like that. But with streamers, you can't do that, though, right? Like, Twitch doesn't, like, allow you to do that. So, like, I wonder if, like, streamers, like, ever think about, like, do I want to, like, record this stream and upload it as a VOD? Like, you know? I don't know. Like, it's weird thinking about, like, what was frickin', you know, Critical's, like, first stream? Like, when was that? You know, I'm sure, like, there are, like, actual answers for it. It's like, oh, it was, like, 2014 or something. Yeah. But, like, I'm just thinking of, like, I don't know. I think specifically with streaming, I'm like, it must be interesting being, like, one of the very, very first people to watch their very, very first stream, you know? with VTubers, it's like, it's a whole thing, and they make a debut out of it, right? But, you know, yeah, I think I need sugar for a freaking, I'm trying to make a cake, by the way. What do you need? Sugar cane. You need sugar cane for sugar. Okay. So, why do I have a healing potion? I'm breaking it up with gameplay. That's something that barely ever happened on the Magic Animal Club podcast. Oh man, I needed to cook freaking chicken. Oh man, why do I always have so much stuff? Like, I always like want to clear out the inventory, but I always have so much freaking stuff here. It's so weird. Okay, so I need sugar. Yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, people attending someone's first stream, being like one of the very, very first people to watch a streamer who went on to become like mega, mega, mega famous's first stream, you know? Who was? Well, with the person I'm talking about here, obviously, like, he started with a Minecraft video, if you check his YouTube channel, but like, imagine being a person in attendance of someone streaming, counting from 1 to 1,000,000. Imagine that, if you will. I don't know. It's just an interesting thing to think about. I don't know. If anyone is watching this video who's like actually watched, or like if you've gone back and watched, if you're very curious and you've watched the very first Minecraft video I put up and how extremely awkward it was, yeah, I commend you for it. Would not recommend. But, you know. That's also a thing Stampy did. I think it was on his second channel. I don't know. I don't think, like, yeah, because his Lovely World series, like, from part 1 to, like, part 30, I think was on the Stampy, that was on his other channel, I think. Or it might not have been, but yeah. I think, like, as of 3 years ago, he re-uploaded them and branded them as, like, classic videos. So, yeah. I guess maybe. I don't know if he's edited them. Because, like, there were parts in them where he swore in them. You know, probably not every part, but yeah. I remember there were, like, a couple instances where he did swear in them, but I don't know. It is cool that he might be like, you know, he's made a few videos that are like, you know, aware of like the nostalgic thing. Oh, look, an achievement. The Lie. Wow, what reference is that? How many people even know that reference anymore, man? How many kids growing up know that reference? Yeah, like, he's made a few videos that are, like, you know, aware of the nostalgia factor he has with, like, his viewers, you know? I guess that's a cool thing, but, you know. What was I gonna go into after? Yeah, nostalgia and doing things for a long time. You know, 16 years, man. When I was 16 years old and still watching him, I don't know. Did I ever think that I would still be watching him, like, what, 7 years onward? I don't know. It's the same thing, like, when I was, like, 16 years old reading young adult books, did I ever think it would be 6 years later and I still would be freaking, you know, reading them? I don't know. I don't think so. I never thought I'd, like, go into reading middle grade books, too. Anyways, yeah, someone who's done something for 16 years and, something that ended recently. Do you know the series called Zero Punctuation? I used to watch it, and I still do watch it, and the thing about it is that it hasn't really ended, but it kind of did, yeah. So, to explain it, there's this freaking magazine, online gaming, whatever thing called The Escapist, and The Escapist is like a place where it was a magazine that covered video games primarily, but also just nerd culture stuff. It's been around for like years. It's been around for like over a decade, over like 15 years. And you probably know The Escapist for the series called Zero Punctuation, which is made by this guy called Yahtzee Croshaw. He's really cool. He was a British guy who lived in Australia, who wore a fedora back when that was a thing, and he you know, made this series that was like 5 minutes a week, and it came out weekly, and it was about him reviewing a game and him being really fast talking. That's why hence the name Zero Punctuation. And then he was just that like fast talking, dry humor, cynical British freaking internet critic that like was like a template for so many freaking people on YouTube. So many freaking people who wanted to be who were making videos about like critiquing stuff or reviewing stuff wanted to be Yahtzee Croshaw. If you ask them deep down, right? Giga was definitely someone, that anime YouTuber who wanted to be Zero Punctuation. If you see his early videos, yeah. So he's been doing Zero Punctuation for like 16 years, since 2007, man. Yeah, 16 whole years. And recently, you know, The Escapist fired the editor-in-chief, Nick. And yeah, in response to that, it was a whole thing. Like basically, like everyone knew there who were making videos since like 2019, because like 2019 was the year Nick joined on as the editor-in-chief, and they kind of rebranded, like, because from like 2014 to like 2018, like Zero Punctuation was basically the only thing on that YouTube channel, on the Escapist YouTube channel. So yeah, 2019 onwards, like there started to be new series, and like the guy in charge of that got fired, and in response, basically everyone resigned who was associated with that, and they started this new thing called Second Wind, and it's fully independent and creator owned. There's no corporate overlord, responsible for it, and it, it got a massive response. It basically is the Escapist again, but just without like a corporate freaking like overhead, without a corporate freaking thing like overlooking them, so they can be more free and do more stuff, And yeah, one of the things about it was that Zero Punctuation couldn't continue because Yahtzee Croshaw did not have the rights to the series when he resigned. Like what, a week and a half ago. So if you know his history as like a person on YouTube, because he does predate The Escapist, yeah, like he was doing stuff before The Escapist, and he had a YouTube channel, yeah, and the videos he uploaded to that YouTube channel, he uploaded 2 game reviews before the series Zero Punctuation, called Fully Ramblematic Reviews, where he reviewed The Darkness and Fable, right? And the funny thing about it is that the new video game series, the new mini video game review series Yahtzee is currently doing under Second Wind, and the first episode just came out this Wednesday, is called Fully Ramblematic. It just comes full circle, man. I don't know. And that's just a cool thing, That's like a thing where it's like something that was just so consistent, right? Like it ends, and it's like you think like, oh man, it really is the end of an era. But yeah, the great thing about it is that no, it doesn't have to be the end of an era. But it's a continuation basically. But it also is kind of the start of something new, right? Like I would assume like people are mostly gonna see Fully Ramblematic is just Zero Punctuation under a different name and like a different color palette, but like I don't know. I guess it is like symbolically a new thing, right? It's a new beginning for Yahtzee, he's basically gone independent with like the Second Wind thing, right? It's like, yeah, they're relying on like they're relying on Patreon a lot more, I would assume, right? It's like they're completely like funded by the audience, I would assume. So yeah, that's a pretty cool thing that happened. I don't know. I just thought it was cool, just seeing like a series that has become a staple, like that has always been a constant in my internet viewing experience for like years upon years upon years, to like see it continue and it's basically still be a constant. I don't know. The more things change, the more they stay the same, just like Draymond Green. Keeping on finding new ways to get suspended and just violate freaking conduct, Oh man, I don't know. Oh my god. Why? Dude, I ran away. I literally was running away. How? Like, I was sufficiently enough away from the creeper. That's so... Oh my god. At least I made a cake. I don't know. Anything else I have for this episode? There's some there's been developments, I guess. Man, I guess these are all like follow-ups to like stuff I've talked about before, but there was an episode I put out, I guess, like what, a month or something ago, whatever it is. I don't know. Time doesn't really mean much anymore. Where I talked about Kiki Palmer and like the situation with her boyfriend. Yeah, his name is Darius Jackson, by the way. Yeah. Whom people were calling her baby daddy, even though they've had, yeah, like, and like her ex-boyfriend, even though they weren't officially broken up, yeah, that's all. Yeah, Usher getting serenaded by Usher, you know, Asia Wilson enjoyed getting serenaded by Usher, but Darius Jackson did not enjoy Kiki Palmer getting serenaded by Usher and the outfit she wore, but yeah. A development to that is that basically the people, like, I feel like the people going after Darius Jackson were right. They were basically like 100% right, because there's been new developments of that, of like how Darius Jackson has been abusive towards her, and she's asked for sole custody of their child, I think. Yeah, they share together, and I would assume they're not together. Yeah, and yeah, basically that's the situation, and like it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. The people, I'd assume, it really is just a black Twitter thing, and like I would assume like there was a whole side of people on this issue who were probably like, see, like these were the signs of like an abuser, right? I don't know. I guess that was just a thing I wanted to bring up, just a follow up to that. Oh man, any follow up on the oysters or the Cheesecake Factory? Probably not. Yeah. So like, yeah, it was, yeah. Obviously, like when that original thing happened, it was kind of a red flag. Yeah, that like her freaking ex-boyfriend, whatever it is now, that he would freaking go so hard against Kiki Palmer for just wearing an outfit, that is wearing an outfit she wanted to wear and making her feel bad about it, that probably is, that really kind of is a red flag, yeah. He probably shouldn't have done that. It probably is just a sign of being, not the best freaking partner, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this situation, I don't know, has a brighter ending. I don't know. Anyways, what else has been going? What else has been going on? I'm sure there's more stuff. I'm sure there's some book drama I have to talk about, but it hasn't. Oh yeah. Do you notice like age category of books? It's called like middle grade. It's like for readers who are like ages 10 to 12 mostly, sometimes for adult women, but yeah, it's mostly for young readers, like Mercy Suarez is a middle grade book, Percy Jackson, obviously, yeah. I haven't been reading that much middle grade recently. There's some good ones I want to read. Yeah, Witchlings is one. There's there's a lot of authors in this like author Twitter writing to Twitter like space that have like put out books that I've been interested in. Yeah, the most recent one I've read was Turning Point. Yeah. So, like, Goodreads, for their latest Goodreads Choice Awards, has decided to axe categories from their friggin' awards for basically no reason. One of them includes middle grade, yeah. Middle grade poetry and graphic novels they've removed. For, like, they offered no explanation for it, man. They offered no explanation for it. They're just like, we're removing these categories, and they added a new category in its place. And I don't know if this is like new. This definitely is a new term. This definitely is a new term that has come up, like, because I have no idea. I don't know when freaking this genre term descriptor came about. I don't think it was like a thing that was even like, what, 4 years ago? I don't know. I think of a lot of things in like the book, writing, publishing, Twitter community of like the terms of something that occurs pre-pandemic to post-pandemic. I don't know. I feel like to me there's been like big differences from like stuff that was going on in 2019 and earlier versus stuff that's going on like post 2020 or 2021. Yeah, anyways, they added this new category called romantasy, which is a mashup of romance and fantasy. It's romantic fantasy. And like it's different from a fantasy romance, right? I don't know. They're just so many things. I don't know. I don't want to sound like ignorant about it, you know. It's basically like it's basically a genre tag descriptor people have been using a lot in recent years, you know, of like fantasies, like fantasies that have a very, very strong romantic element to them. So they're basically like romance books that take place in fantasy worlds, basically. But like, I don't know. There's been a lot of discussion about like how much, like should like fantasy like be focused on romance? Should there be like more or like less fantasies that have romance in them? You know, I don't know. There was a tweet I remember there being a tweet I read earlier of like in a Twitter segment of like someone just saying like people are focusing too much on like the romance in like fantasy and sci-fi books. I think they're talking about like sci-fi books, right? Yeah, and they used the term romantasy, I think, you know, and like they were upset that like romantasy books were like taking away spotlight from actual fantasy books, and like the whole point of the genres of fantasy and sci-fi isn't romance, but like, you know, commentary on like, you know, in critiquing like systems and stuff, you know, like the deep like commentary and themes of like critiquing governments and like systems of power and oppression that like in teams you'd get, and like they felt that those were incompatible with romance, I guess, being in the books, or that like people just are into fantasy just for the romance and for the shipping of it all and not for the other things. I don't know, it's a whole thing. Again, it's like, I think I said that episode, it's like, I don't have much of a stake in it because I'm not really that much of a fantasy reader, man. I don't know. Even the book I'm reading right now, These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, like, it's a historical book, I would assume. But I think there's a fantasy element to it, but yeah, I'm reading it really slowly, by the way. I don't know when I'll finish it. The audiobook I'm listening to right now is a romance, I guess. Love Boat Taipei. I mean, it literally has love in the title, so yeah. Those are the two, like, books, I guess, I'm reading right now. Yeah, and like, I guess I really should cancel Audible. I think I'm gonna make it official. I think I'm gonna have Audible through November, but after that I'm just gonna cancel it. Yeah, because of, you know, reasons, you know, just mainly it's, you know, yeah. There doesn't need to be any more reason for me than like financially, but it's also because of, yeah, there's also like a deeper reason concerning the current like Israel and Palestine stuff. Yeah, that probably makes it more of a freaking argument. And also the fact that you can get audiobooks through Libby, right? In your public library. Yeah. Oh man. Anyways, yeah, I guess that just brought that tweet into mind, you know. I don't know if this is a thing where people, you know, I would assume people like are okay. Yeah, the main takeaway from the removing middle grade thing is that like, why do you have to remove frickin' a category while adding one, right? Like, why do you need to remove categories and adding one? It's not pie. You can add categories without taking them away, one quote tweet said. It's like, yeah, it really isn't pie, you know. Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, or cheesecake. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there really isn't anything else to say on that, where it's like other than like, why would you freaking remove middle grade, you know? It's also, yeah, I guess the deeper point to it is that like middle grade is the entry point for a lot of young readers, right? It's where like a lot of people who are like young readers like actually like they gain their love for reading gets, you know, strengthened, right? You know? Yeah, I guess it's like, yeah, like obviously I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that obviously, but I don't know. For me, I'm just thinking like I'm someone who didn't like truly gain a love for reading until I was in high school, until I was like 16 or 17, you know? Yeah. But like, yeah, I would assume that is the case for most people. You want to freaking like instill a love of reading, like for like young like kids, you know, especially like 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Like it's a time like when like kids would be most into freaking like reading if they are into reading, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if it does tie into, you know, the whole like transition period. Yeah, you know, the whole like, yeah, if you're remembering it, the whole like what can YA do to attract more teenage boy readers, you know, of like what can be done about the, you know, the problem of like having a 12-year-old boy who really loves middle grade fantasy, but like when they turn like 15 and they want like YA fantasy that kind of like easily transitions, you know, like they can't find that because most like 99 like you know, not 99, not that much, but like most of them have like female protagonists, right? Which can be a barrier, to entry, you know, and like, you know, obviously like have like a very like female perspective most of the time, you know. Yeah, like how can you like make that transition smoother, you know? It just makes it, you know, it is a thing that like, you know, YA in adult shouldn't be the only freaking categories people focus on. Like middle grade is uh equally, if not more important in like instilling a love of reading, you know? Even though it wasn't exactly the time for me, you know. But, you know, I guess. I wonder if it does tie into that. It probably does. So, yeah. I guess people are saying that. Do I have any friggin' deeper opinions on romanticy as a term? Oh man, I don't know. It's a thing. I'd rather just not. Okay, I'd rather just not. Speaking of something that teenage boys probably wouldn't be into. There was this Netflix like series. There was this Netflix rom-com series that was based on a very popular book series, you know? Yeah, and obviously, you know what I'm talking about. Obviously, you know what I'm talking about here. Yeah? No, it's not that one. Jacob Elordi, man. The guy who is mostly known for being in Euphoria now. Ugh, God, please. Oh man, remember your roots. Yeah, does he remember his roots? He does, but he doesn't want to acknowledge them because he freaking hates those movies. And I'm like, I agree. Yeah, in an he got interviewed. He got interviewed by GQ. He's Gen Z's freaking new male actor heartthrob. You know, he's freaking 6'5". He's Australian. Oh man, tall, dark, and handsome. I don't know, whatever. Freaking, you know, people just love the fact that he's freaking tall. There's like a video clip of him like in like next to a guy who's like freaking like probably like 5'7", and like he's so much bigger than him, and then he just picks up the drink and gives it to him or something, and then oh man, I don't know. People like people, yeah. People like people who are tall, basically. Which is why, like, how come more freaking girls aren't into the NBA? I don't know. I feel like, what if Taylor Swift decided to start dating an NBA player, man? What if? What if instead of freaking whoever, what if she decided to start dating an NBA player? I wonder who would be, like, the most, like, passionate response, you know? I don't know. Todd, yeah, like go on this Todd experiment journey for me. Who would be the NBA player that like would elicit this similar response of like Taylor Swift dating? I don't know. I think I mean, I would assume, like, if you just thinking about it, it would be like Steph Curry. Like, Steph Curry and Taylor Swift, that would be a power couple, man. I don't know. That would be a power couple. I don't know. Any, like, yeah, I don't know. It probably can't be just like a bench player, though. It has to be like a star. Yeah, Austin Reeves. Probably not. I don't know. Yeah, like Steph Curry would probably make the best imaginary couple, but yeah. What was I talking about with you, the kissing booth guy? He doesn't like the films. He had comments saying like I just did them for a paycheck, basically, as I'm paraphrasing it. I just did it for a paycheck. They're ridiculous. They're an escape. They're fantasy. I hate them. They suck. Anyone who's a fan of them, screw them. Screw frickin' teenage girls. Nah, I don't know. Yeah, and like obviously I agree with his comments, but I don't know. It just got me thinking, because that's the point of it. Like, I'm supposed to take things I see and like add my own perspective to it, hopefully. That's what I'm doing with the series. I don't know. I guess it just made me think about like teen, like the whole like teen rom-com actor, hot guy actor to like serious dramatic movie star pipeline, and like how like a lot of people make that transition. Obviously, like Robert Pattinson, made that transition, and I'd assume like what other people on Friday Night Lights, like so many people just don't mention that Michael B. Jordan was on Friday Night Lights. I don't know, man. Like, oh man, or like I don't know who else? Taylor Kitsch or something. I think like who's it? The girl from Skins, Kayla, who played Effie, I think, is like big now, is a lot bigger than she was. I think like there was like a guy in the second generation, yeah, who's I don't know. Oh God, I forgot, man. I forgot. I think he might be in a Jordan Peele movie, I think. But yeah. Just the whole like pipeline of like getting your start, getting your like mainstream breakthrough in like a YA rom-com for Netflix, and then transitioning into like doing big films. I don't know. It's just, I guess it's an interesting thing, because obviously for like the other one, the much better one. Like, obviously, like, he hasn't been on, like, a show like Euphoria. Obviously, like, his career hasn't, like, had as much of an upward trajectory, as Jacob's has. A funny thing is that, like, I saw, in, like, a Brazilian movie I saw, like, there was like Confessions of an Invisible Girl. There was like this scene where she was looking through a guy's Instagram, a boy she likes Instagram, and then she was comparing the boy to Jacob Elordi. It's like, oh my God, dude, he really is. Oh man, he really is the Gen Z male heartthrob, man. Oh man. It got me thinking, like, another thought I've had, like, who's the millennial friggin' male heartthrob, like, is it Robert Pattinson? Is it like Andrew Garfield or something? Like, I don't know, but like I'm thinking of like, who's the Gen Z Jonah Hill? Like, who's the Gen Z Michael Cera? Like, who? Timothy Chalamet? Like, nah, Timothy, I don't know. Like, just a thing. Who is the Gen Z Jonah Hill? Presented without any further comment. I don't know. Oh, man. Oh man, something. Oh God, am I done talking about that? Yeah, like just a lot. Just there were like a couple tweets on Twitter I saw where people are like, maybe you shouldn't freaking like say those movies are trash, even though they are, just because they've had their fan base. You kind of don't want to like step on, basically the films that made you, that put you where you are today. But that's the thing, like, there's a reason why, like, they are kind of springboards, like being in a teen teen rom-com, like for so many freaking actors who want to do bigger things than that. It is a springboard, you know. It is. Like, I'm fine with it, you know. A lot of times I just like know. A lot of times I just remember people more fondly for those things than, I don't know, because I really am just not that big of a film person, you know. Oh yeah, I guess I'm just thinking. I guess to expand my perspective further, I guess I just thought about like movies in general and like why I'm not the biggest fan of, I'm not the biggest like movie watcher, like avid movie watcher. Like, you know, the movies I want to see now are all freaking like YA book adaptations. You know, I don't know. To me, yeah, because to me like literature, I just like as an art form more than like movies, you know? I don't know. Yeah. And there's this like, yeah. I think like, yeah, even more expanding it. I don't know. I guess like why I feel that way. Like, is that like, you know, like I like the imaginative aspect of literature. I like the fact that like, you know, a character can be described in a book or a story and you can have an image in your head and it doesn't have to be like immediately translated, you know, into like, here's what they look like as an actor here in a film, like here's what they look like animated or something. It's interesting because like so many books nowadays, like you see it in like the community, the author community now, right? Is that like even for works in progress, there are so many people who are like really excited to commission artists they find online to draw their characters or their OCs. And like, I don't know, I think that's a cool thing that people are doing. But for me, it's like, I don't know, I kind of wish there were more like books that came out today that just didn't like explicitly have like a visual representation of the characters. I don't know, I just kind of wish. Or even like not like an exact like here's what the characters look like. I don't know. I kind of like going into a book and like reading it and like figuring that image out for myself, you know. I kind of, you know, that's the thing, right? And also I think it probably connects back to like why I'm not as into films as I am freaking books, you know. Like I would like if I were to choose one, I would take books over freaking films and TV. I feel like easily. Maybe not TV exactly, but yeah. I don't know. Books versus anime. I don't know. Well, I would just if books counted manga, yeah, then it's over. Yeah, I don't care. But yeah, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm just not that like kind of person who just immediately wants to envision exactly how characters look, you know. I kind of do wish there were more. Like I understand, you know, the whole like desire of people who want to see their characters, especially if they wrote the story themselves, they want to see their characters fully realized visually as they have in their head. But I don't know. I think there's a nice thing. Yeah, there's like a nice like, I don't know. There's like, I like the fact that there isn't like a definitive visual representation of Holden Caulfield. I like the fact that there isn't a definitive visual representation of the girl, yeah, of the main character of The House on Mango Street. I don't know. Like to me, like that's part of like, yeah. I like I like, I don't know. I like the fact that Catcher in the Rye hasn't been adapted to film yet and probably will never be adapted to film, you know. It's like it exists as a book. It's words, it's a story, you know. Like obviously like films and stuff are another way of telling stories, but I don't know, to me like this this part of the story, the part of stories I love are the words, you know, like not necessarily the visuals, you know, like it's the feeling I get from the words rather than the images and like loving those images, you know. It's, yeah, I guess like that's like the thing, I guess, the larger point I wanted to make, you know. Like I don't need like like visual representations of the things I read about, you know. I don't necessarily need that. It's cool, like it's cool seeing like a film adaptation of a book, you know. Like I'm not like I can't get into it. Yeah, it's obviously not that. I really like the film of The Hate You Give. I really like Love, Simon, you know, in the spin-off series. But I don't know. I think like it's nice to have both. It's nice to have like books that only exist as books. I don't know. I think about like books that would make really good adaptations, and I think about Eliza and Her Monsters, you know. That would make a really good adaptation, but I don't know. I like the fact that I do like the fact that just some books are exclusively books and stories are exclusively stories. I guess maybe that's why I gravitate towards like short story collections, is that like it kind of feels like a TV show episode sometimes. I think that's what I aim for. I feel like that's the kind of the vibe I aim for when I write a short story. Like I want to make it feel like it's like an episode of a TV show. There was this TV show anthology series called Easy that was on Netflix like years back, where it's like every episode is a story of like people living in Chicago. And like there's an episode about two brothers who decide to start a brewery. There was an episode about like this couple who decides to get into an open relationship. There was this episode about like this like washed up like kind of like assholey freaking like graphic novel writer and like he sleeps with someone, then like that someone like uses their life experience to write about him in an unflattering way. Oh man. But like he has been doing that with his own work his whole career. I don't know. I just like the fact, I guess, I don't know. I just like the fact that there's some like stories that can only exist as words on paper, or like, a Kindle or something. I don't know. I guess that's just expanding it, like why I have such an affinity for books and stories. Basically the last page of The House on Mango Street, and I like the fact that like the house doesn't, like the new cover, like the 25th anniversary cover, like basically is the house, but I like that it's just drawn and not like, well, I don't know. Yeah, but that's weird because most like book covers are illustrated, but I don't know. I guess it would look weird if it was like an exact frickin' picture of like a brick building in Chicago, that it is actually based on, but I don't know. Bottom line, I like stories for their words, there you go. And like the cover of Eliza and Her Monsters is somewhat kind of visual, right? Like it's just a girl's hands covered in paint, right? And like in her hands are like the characters of like the graphic novel series, the webcomic series that the main character draws, which like I find just really extremely freaking great. I just love that cover so much. But anyways, I don't know. What else do I have to talk about? I'm almost an hour through already. Oh my god. I guess that's basically it. Jacob Ellerdy, you were right. But it is kind of, but I will forever remember you as the guy from The Kissing Booth, okay? It's like, look, you're the guy from The Kissing Booth. You're not the guy from that other show, because if you were to ask me, like, if I had only one thing to watch, The Kissing Booth films or Euphoria, you know what I'd pick. You know what I'd pick. It's like, I come on. Like, come on, man. I'm gonna be listening to a lot more Walk the Moon, I'll say that, because the two of their songs are in two of the films. Oh, man. Oh, God. Anything else that seemed interesting to me? Oh man, there's like boxing coming up on December 23rd. Anthony Joshua is gonna fight Otto Wallin, and Deontay Wilder is gonna fight Joseph Parker. It's gonna be on the same card in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Usyk is gonna fight Tyson Fury in February of next year. I don't know. Oh man, exciting things happening. I don't know. Will the heavyweight division be interesting again? Who knows, man? Who knows? It's all about the lighter weight classes. It's all about, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia. Like, that's where the interest is, basically. And also, like, Terrence Crawford, yeah. The most interesting, like, fight that could happen, like, probably the biggest fight that could freaking happen is Terrence Crawford versus Canelo. Like, either at, like, 160 or something. Like, I don't know. That probably would be the biggest money fight right now. But, But it's also like Canelo has to fight David Benavidez. That's like a fight he should probably take. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if Canelo really has any more like legacy solidifying fights. He's basically done it already. Yeah, I mean, like, beating Bivol, though, but, like, he also knocked out Sergey Kovalev. I don't know how much credit people give Canelo for that win. People probably are just like Kovalev was washed by that point in his career, but you know, I would assume that's a very impressive win. He knocked out a light heavyweight that freaking like was extremely freaking scary to fight, and like knocked out almost everyone he freaking faced except Andre Ward and Bernard Hopkins. But you know, that's what's going on in boxing. Anything going on anywhere else that I want to talk about? Anything? Yeah, man, I guess maybe I should get to the Twitter segment, but I don't know. I don't know if there's been much interesting stuff happening. I still stand with Palestine. Yeah, obviously there should be a ceasefire going on. Yeah, that's also another thing too. Like, there's the boycott, right, of McDonald's, Starbucks, and Disney, right? Like, yeah, it's basically it's targeted, right? So, I'd assume if you care, like any like sort of thing, like if you want to show that you care about the current situation, right, and you want to show your support, that is a thing you could do. I'd assume there's like also like places you could donate, but like the other thing is like, yeah, calling representatives and asking for a ceasefire, which is a thing. Oh yeah, speaking of representatives, there was a day a couple of days ago where a senator literally wanted to throw hands. Like he was like, there was like a committee hearing with like a Teamsters president, and like he was freaking like reciting like his like tweet at him, and he's like, I'm a man. You want to stand on it? He's like, stand up then. And he's like, you stand up. It's like, okay, I'll go. And then Bernie Sanders, of all people, has to step in and be like, no, you are a United States Senator. You are a United States Senator. Sit down, please sit down. Oh man, Bernie Sanders is also like one of the senators and one of the people in Congress who is not like calling for a ceasefire, you know. I think he put out a tweet saying like, yeah, this is a humanitarian crisis, but yeah, it is a thing that like, yeah, obviously there's money behind it, obviously, with every freaking thing. Like, for why a lot of Democratic politicians aren't freaking saying the word is because of this like political action community, AIPAC, that like funnels a lot of money to members of Congress. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But you know, I would assume like, yeah, the strategy is that like is pressure is good. Like, just keep on like annoying representatives about this. I don't know if it can change people like John Fetterman's mind, because I would assume he's getting a lot of freaking money from them for judging from his stance. But you know, maybe it can help, you know. Yeah, it's basically all you can do, to be honest, right? So yeah, I guess there's that situation. Anyways, should I move on to the Twitter segment? Maybe there might be good tweets, maybe there won't. I don't know, who knows? But anyways, here is the Twitter segment. Okay, first tweet up on here of I don't know how many, because probably won't find as many good ones. I really should bookmark more. I should need to remember to do that. But Angel Reese is not with the team tonight for LSU's game versus Southeastern Louisiana. Yeah, it's not. It's as in tonight. It was like a few hours ago. I'm recording this kind of late. Per the pregame report on LSU Sports Radio Network, Reese was benched for the second half of the Tigers' previous game versus Kent State. What Kim Mulkey called at the time a coach's decision. Why isn't Angel Reese playing? I don't know. I guess maybe I just talk about the NBA too much. I decided to like read a tweet about women's college basketball. Oh man. I guess like what has been interesting, yeah, so far. I'm somewhat following it. UConn lost their second game of the season to NC State. Yeah. And like, you know, if you know like UConn historically, they're like extremely freaking good. Yeah, they've been historically a dynasty and like just amazing under Gino Auriemma, their coach. Yeah. But yeah, Gino Auriemma is 1,000 games above 500. It's like, how? How, man? He's 11-1 in freaking national title games. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Angel Reese. I don't know. It might be kind of sinister. I don't know. Like, maybe like Kim Mulkey is kind of uh showing her like sinister side. Like maybe it is a personal issue, but I don't know, man. It's weird. Why is Angel Reese freaking not playing here? I guess there's gonna be some details, hopefully. But yeah, I guess maybe LSU isn't gonna walk straight into a national title appearance. Maybe not. With like this stuff, they did lose their opening game to Colorado. Yeah, yeah, I joked on Twitter that Colorado, yeah, it should be known as a women's basketball school now with how the football program is doing. Just saying, just saying. I'm sorry. Like Dion had 4 games, you know, they won 4 games. That's all they needed to do. But yeah. Anyways, I guess we'll find out about Angel Reese soon. I don't know. Speaking of films and why I'm not really into them, an account discussing film has a tweet. Tim Allen wants Toy Story 5 to follow adult Andy trying to find and reunite all of his old toys for his child. like what are we doing here, man? They're like, yeah, again, like, yeah, why was there a Toy Story 4? Who gives up about freaking Toy Story 4, man? Who like cares about that freaking film, man? I don't know. It's obviously a thing, right? Like it's a popular franchise. People are gonna watch it no matter what. Like kids, it's for the kids rather than the adults. But you know, like Toy Story 3 was made in part for like the adult audience in mind, though, right? Like the whole like cool thing about Toy Story 3 was that it was made 12 years after the second one, and like all of those like people who watched it as a kid, they were either like about to go to college or in college or like, you know, around like leaving college maybe, right? And like it just was timed perfectly to that. And like, yeah, I don't know. They just wanna continue the franchise. This is yeah, I don't know. I guess you could say the same with like Shrek, but I don't know. Like Shrek 2, like that was a great film. It is a film. I'm sure Scorsese would agree. The quote tweet here says, "If he wanted to keep them, he shouldn't have gave him away." That's the thing too, yeah. Like I guess spoilers for Toy Story 3, but like when he gives them away to that girl, right? And then the toys are all like, toys see him like driving off. I don't know, man. There was I do like the like scene, like that little like in that ending scene where like the girl tries to grab Woody and he's like, no, this I have so much fond memories of him. You can't just freaking grab him like that. And he just has a hard time freaking like giving it away. You know, I do like that little detail. But I don't know. Yeah, franchises, it's just gonna franchise, but I would assume I'm not really gonna see it. Yeah, I'm not gonna see this film. Just like how I haven't seen really many other films. So there's that. Okay, I'm sorry for freaking having this out of order, but I found a tweet that provides context. I found a tweet that provides freaking context to this Angel Reese situation. Not to her not playing, but it says Angel Reese's mom and Flage's mom. Flage is also a member of that LSU team. Are reportedly beefing on social media. You definitely, yeah, it says, there's a quote here. You definitely know about grammar errors when your daughter has a 2.0 or less GPA. And the quote is from Flage's mother on Angel Reese. Former LSU basketball players Alexis Morris and Jasmine Carson are also involved. What is going on here, man? Oh my god, dude, come on, man. Look, man, if freaking the NBA is soap operas for men, why can't we let women's basketball be soap operas for men and also women too? What? Here's a tweet from Alexis Morris, yeah, in a video attached to it. Switched up, gang up on me, now y'all falling out, don't ever choose clout over loyalty, free game. I showed real love, not for marketing, politics, nothing, but the realist always prevail. What the heck? What? I don't know, man. I guess, like, forming, like, a theory here, I don't know. I guess, like, looking at it from the outside, I think maybe like something happened after they won the national title, and like something over the off season, like during the summer, like Angel Reese like Because obviously, like, Angel Reese got a lot more popular, right? Like, her name got a lot more known, nationally, after they won the title, the national championship. But, like, I don't know. Like, I think it might seem like the clout got to her or something, and like it affected her relationships with other people. I don't know. Oh man. And then Jasmine Carson said, "Y'all better hope I don't say nothing." Oh my, what the hell is going on here, man? What is this, man? What? Yeah, I don't even know, man. Oh my god. This is the start of something, okay? This is going to be followed up on. I'm going to make this a point of interest. You know how like someone puts a quest on your freaking map in like Skyrim or something. You know how like how you get like a miscellaneous quest? This is somehow a side quest that appeared. I need to know what is going on with Angel Reese, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested, man. It's a way of being interested in women's basketball. Not that I need this to be interested in it, but I don't know. I mean, I would assume other people want to know, right? It's not purely like being hungry for drama thing, So many people are just hungry for like freaking drama between streamers, Can't some people also like have that be fulfilled by basketball? Okay, look, man, I like drama and I like basketball. Okay, come on. But yeah, this is definitely gonna be a thing I follow in the future. Oh man, I can't find that many freaking tweets to talk about. So you know what that means? I'm going to freaking go into the well and dig up a freaking Finn, swords pointing at him, freaking unpopular opinion, quote, tweet, thread. Oh my god, this one. What opinion about dating will have you like this? I don't even know. Why am I still here? This should be the end of the Twitter segment. I should not have a long Twitter segment if I don't need to, but whatever. We are still individuals outside of our relationship. We don't have to be together. Yes, okay. As a broke man, you have no business dating / being in a relationship. Okay, alright. Oh, man. Alright. Vast majority of people I know who met their person did not do so by putting themselves out there or dating around. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just like there are a lot of freaking times when it's just proximity or just generally knowing each other, but I don't know. Civilization is older. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Oh, man. Yes. Oh man, men should go for women who align with what they want. Do not approach women who, okay, all right, okay, dude, why am I here? Months, day, years, a dumb form. I never got that. I never got why, like, so many foreign people think that like month, day, year is annoying. I get it if you write it as a day, month, year. But like, I don't know. To me, I guess it's just a purely American thing. It's like, yeah. Sometimes we forget that the one we're interested in has preferences too. They might not share the same romantic feelings due to a lack of attraction or compatibility. Some people are just out of your league, and that's just life. Damn. Probably, yeah. Like, obviously, like Rihanna or like Beyonce, yeah, probably. I don't know, man. But that's the thing, like, what, like, people who are, like, sing, yeah, like, yeah, probably. Probably anyone who's famous, yes. Men should focus on getting their money. Okay, alright, okay. Okay, why am I freaking still doing this? Why am I still doing this? No matter how much you try, some things aren't meant to be. Oh, man. Is there a book about that? Oh, man. Most of y'all date to live experiences and not to build anything with the person that's in front of you. Is that wrong? Is there something wrong with that? I mean, yeah. I mean, this is very much like being a young person, though, is it? Yeah. I don't know. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Men shouldn't be dating until they've been working for 3 to 4 years, okay? No one has done dating better than... What? Oh, man. I don't know what those are. Oh, man. Being nice is not a good enough reason for anyone to date you. Yeah. Definitely agree with that. Okay, anyways, okay. Please, I should not. Yeah, no one said anything about the Cheesecake Factory. Like, is this okay? Oh, man. I don't know, man. I need to freaking find better tweets. I know, but like, I don't know. I like the spontaneity of it, you know? But I guess I knew what I was gonna freaking talk about before, so yeah. Oh man, I guess like another thing. I guess yeah, last thing I'll talk about. There's this singer, there's this pop star. She's called Billie Eilish. I don't know if you know about her, but like she gave an interview recently about and like yeah, I guess one of the interesting things about the interview is that like she basically has like stated her like attraction for women, you know, in it and like and yeah, and like it reinforced the idea that a lot of people are that a lot of people are begging, like trying to remind people that an actual person cannot queer bait anyone, you know, like queer baiting is a thing that is done in fiction and not in real life, obviously, right? And a lot of people need to freaking learn that concept, you know. Yeah, she talks about like being like intimidated by women, you know, like even though yeah she like finds like them attractive, you know. So I guess that's one thing, but another thing is that like she talks about uh attraction and like, you know, she makes a comment, yeah, that says like, and she said something like women like yeah, like women don't really care about like a guy's like body type, you know, like you can be skinny, you can be fat, you can be a little chubby, you can be like, you can look like you can have any sort of body you want. Like women don't really care about that, or girls don't really care about that. I don't know, girls just see you as a person, you know. And then like yeah, there was a quote tweet, yeah, that said like, I don't know why this has to be community noted, you know, when like more information is being put. And like, so yeah, I guess like expanding it, yeah, some of these community notes on tweets are just extremely just like, why, like they're just extremely personal and just add nothing, you know, like you know. And that's the thing, like people are like starting to community note like tweets where it's like it's one person's opinion, it's one person's like statement, like it's one person's opinion based on their experience and their thoughts. Like what, like I understand if there's any factual error, you know, but like what factual error could there possibly be? Because that's the point of community notes, is to correct actual misinformation and factual errors, right? And it's like, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's a take of like why that has to be community noted, and I haven't even checked it, but it probably is something like, this actually is not true. There have been instances of women freaking judging men's bodies, and it's like, yeah, obviously, but it's like, dude, it's like it's her freaking experience with it, you know. She's speaking from her freaking perspective, okay? Like you may not agree with it, but like it's what she's saying. It's like, okay, all right. But whatever, I guess. I guess that could be related to the dating thing, you know. Oh man, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not even gonna share my opinion. That's gonna I think that's gonna be the end of the episode. I'm not gonna. Oh no, did I eat this cake? There you go. Oh, I'm ending the episode by eating cake. Wow, look at that. There you go. Ooh, wow, I just ate that entire freaking cake. Oh, man, I did it at the end of the episode rather than the beginning. So I guess that's the end of the episode. I talked about a lot, didn't I? I need to get to the bottom of this Angel Reese stuff, man. I would assume there's going to be more like details that come out soon about it. Hopefully it's not anything serious, man. Hopefully it's just, you know, like a thing, you know. We just we don't need more freaking like extremely freaking depressing, disappointing stuff to happen in the realm of basketball. Okay, we already have enough. So, yeah, I guess that's gonna be a story to look out for. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and see you next episode.